To create a teaching call, use the navigation on the left and go down to Teaching Call. And a reminder that if you have multiple work groups, the teaching calls are scoped to the specific work group. Also, you're going to need to ensure that the correct individuals are set up in IPA as a Senate instructor or a Federation instructor before creating a teaching call. So if you need to set up your roster, take a look at the video that describes the work group for more information. The teaching call screen here will list all of the teaching calls that I've performed, and it is per academic year, so you could have a different teaching call, of course, in 2016-17 versus 2017-18, and so on. In this case, I don't have any teaching calls. That's why we see sort of the header of a table here with no rows underneath it. So I'm just going to create this, click this Create Teaching Call button, and this form pops up that's asking me a couple of questions. The due date is perhaps one of the easiest ones. Since this is a fake teaching call, I'll just decide that it's due tomorrow. And we can ask what terms we're interested in. This list of terms does default to the list of terms that you used in your courses page. But if you wish to configure it anyway, perhaps we're not going to do a teaching call for summer, we can go ahead and check and uncheck various terms. Now this box right here is the list of people who are going to be in this teaching call, and you can see the box is currently empty, but I have these two buttons, Senate and Federation, up here. So if I just go ahead and click the Federation button, it will automatically fill in the people that I've marked as being Federation instructors in my work group. And again, you'll need to go to the work group manager to manage those roles. You can click Senate as well if you want to have a teaching call for both, but otherwise you can select one or the other, perhaps because you want to send out a teaching call first to your Senate faculty and then second to your Federation faculty. There's also this Ask for Unavailabilities button. You can it defaults to being on, but you can turn it off, and that simply is asking the instructors on a Monday through Friday schedule when they are unavailable. So when you're planning courses later, you know if Lloyd here is teaching ECS 10 and he's not available Monday mornings, you'll know not to schedule ECS 10 Monday mornings, and you'll see where that information appears in a later video. Finally, we have an email message here. It fills in some text for us, but you can go ahead and configure it. By default, the teaching call will email everyone automatically, which is very nice because it means that you don't have to. I'm going to go ahead and click this Next button, and you'll see we have a summary here of everything that I filled out. We see what the email is going to be. It's also going to include this link, so your faculty will receive an email and it will have a link to IPA, and when they log in, it will go to the teaching call form, which is described in another video. And I want to note you can also begin a teaching call without email if that's your preference. If you would rather the system not automatically email people, you have that choice. Also, you can direct your faculty to simply go in their web browser to ipa.ucdavis.edu and not worry about everything else that's written here in this URL link, and they will see a summary of their data, including any teaching calls that they're currently involved in. But I'm going to go ahead and say begin with email to start this teaching call. And you can see it appears here in this table now. It has the start date and the end date. I made a teaching call for the Federation. I sent it via email, and these are the terms. And you can see Senate is not checked because I didn't send it out to them. If I were to go ahead and make another teaching call, that second teaching call, I would not be able to select Federation, but I would be able to select Senate. And after that second teaching call is created, this Create Teaching Call button would actually be grayed out, as I cannot create any more teaching calls for this year.